Call to order. We'll call to order the Civil Service Commission meeting. We'll have a roll call. I'm Blake Chard, the chair of the commission.
Pat Schneider, Commissioner.
Michelle Sutherland, Secretary Examiner.
Brian Hurley, Fire Chief.
Carlos Quiles, Acting Police Chief.
Okay, thank you very much. Michelle, you want to go through and list the changes to the commission or to the agenda, please?
Yes, the changes I have this evening to the agenda are the addition of a Deputy Police Chief exam plan and also a request to extend the current acting Deputy Police Chief appointment. So we will discuss that. I have one revision to the police entry level list, and I just have a change of subject notation on a fire admin manager reclassification. So I will note those as we go through it.
Okay. I haven't done this in the past, but I think Robert's Rules has us approve the agenda as modified. I'll also move. Have a second.
I second that we make the changes to the agenda.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from our March 12th meeting. Okay, are there any comments or corrections that need to be made? Seeing none, I'll move the approval of the minutes from March 12th. Have a second?
I will second the minutes of March 12th.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, next is the status of eligibility list update.
We've got the status of the civil service eligibility lists for April of 2026. This is a status listing. It shows the date of the established lists, the date of renewals, and the date of expiration of the lists. So just going through the various statuses. The most recent that we have, we've got an entry-level firefighter. Looks like that will be expired here. We have a police sergeant promotional list that was established in March of 2026, so just last month, and just working through all of the active and continuous listings that we do currently have.
Okay. Ready. Any questions about that? Seeing none, we'll move to the police officer entry level list.
Okay. This evening, we do have a police officer entry level list that we are seeking approval for. We currently have 17 candidates on the list. And one thing that I did want to note is that the name Torian Whetstone should actually be on the added to the list listing here. So we currently do have 10 that were added to the list. So Torian is here at number 11. They just need to be up in this added to the list category.
Okay.
So seeking approval for this list for April of 2026. 10 new candidates, and we do have removed from the list. We have one in background checks. We have 2 that failed the chief's interview, and we have 1 that withdrew.
Okay.
So I have a question. If someone's in background check, why would they be removed from the list if they're still in background check?
We do remove them from the list because in essence, they've been chosen for the process after the chief's interview. So we remove them from the list at that point.
I'm sorry, I still don't understand. Are they still being checked in the background or I'm confused?
Yeah, it starts all of the background for the hiring process.
That's after they considered on board. In other words, they've been offered pending the
Yes.
background and the other processes that they need to go through to put them on full-time. Is that correct, Chief?
Yeah, well, once they go into the background process, that's the next step where we can ask all the questions to make sure that they're going to be a good fit as a police officer and there's nothing in their background that would disqualify them. And if there is, then we would move on with the hiring process because they wouldn't qualify to be a police officer. And if they do pass, then we give them a conditional offer of employment where they just have to pass a few more things. And if they don't pass that, they would be hired anyway. So that's why they're removed from the list because either they're going to make it and be hired or they're not.
Okay, but they're still eligible?
Not when, if a background is discontinued, that means that it's discontinued because there's something in their background that would preclude them from being a police officer. And we basically tell them that we've discontinued background, therefore you're not going to be hired. And so there's no point for them to stay on the list because they would never be considered because they couldn't pass the background investigation.
Okay, so there's something in their background. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, got it.
Something that disqualifies them from us hiring them.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So I'll move that we approve this list and with change of moving Torrey and Whetstone from the removed list to the added to list. Have a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have approval of entry-level firefighter eligibility list.
Yes, looking at the entry-level firefighter list, you will notice we have 26 candidates on the list. This was a process that was just completed, so seeking approval to add all of these members to the firefighter entry-level list for April.
I move that we approve the list.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the firefighter entry-level list. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, so one thing I would like to do a correction here is the subject line should read police fire administrative manager reclassification.
Okay.
Okay. So this evening we want to bring to you a study that was done. The reason this came up is we have the fire department executive assistant position, which is currently classified as a senior level administrative support role that provides support to the operational department leadership. As structured, that classification emphasizes the functions such as scheduling, correspondence management, records coordination, and administrative project support. In contrast, the police fire administrative manager position has been established as a management classification with a much broader scope and authority. The reason this is being brought up this evening, the reclassification from executive assistant to the fire administrative manager position, is that during the recruitment process for the police administrative manager position, staff conducted a review of the fire executive assistant administrative functions, and it was found that in that review, it identified a clear misalignment between the current classification of the fire department executive assistant and the actual scope of their duties being performed. It was much more in line with that of the police administrative manager position as far as all of the duties went. So the misalignment between those two positions, if we have an executive assistant that are completing all of the same functions just for the fire department instead of the police department, there's a misalignment and an equity concern because the positions should be equal and not different. So the current classification we found doesn't apply to the fire executive assistant and are asking for the reclassification to the fire administrative manager position. And I know Brian is here if you have any questions. He's also one who reviewed a study that was completed on their end of the different duties that were completed. So Brian, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'll just add, as the department's grown, we're now 62 FTEs. From the time we've had closer to 30, we've only had 2 administrative staff, and we currently still only have 2 administrative staff. Those responsibilities have grown. The position now is overseeing programs. And believe me, we have other work we need to do that really isn't aligned with the executive assistant position. So in looking at that, and again, as Michelle mentioned, equity across the departments and those duties, this seemed to be a more appropriate classification.
Yeah,
Is
and the
there
role,
is there any way I can see the different job descriptions between the old and the new and the police and the fire department to see where the differences are?
the police and the police fire administrative manager position description is the same. That is attached right here. The police fire administrative manager. The
Okay.
executive assistant position, I can go ahead and send that over. But the executive assistant position is basically administrative functions, supportive functions, without budget and finance alignment, the operational and the departmental support. In fire, the executive assistant that is now classified as that, she's currently assisting with budget and financial management, preparing and administering the department's operating budget and the coordination of that, tracking expenditures, analyzing variances, preparing reports for the department. She is managing an employee, purchasing contracts, vendor relationships, coordinating with human resources, payroll, and finance. So the scope of the classification is police fire administrative manager. And again, we found that discrepancy upon posting for a new police administrative manager, the inequity in the way those positions were classified.
I'll
Okay.
just add, I'm sorry, Commissioner, if I cut you off.
Sure, no worries. And no, I just wanted to see the differences. And then I also had a question on the budget too, because I'm assuming that there would be a change in compensation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah,
And has that been already been approved? Has that been budgeted for?
yeah, first off, we would work to absorb that in the current fire department budget. If not, the city administrator has indicated that we would do, if needed, a budget amendment to accommodate this request. And we have his full support in doing this.
Yes, he was very surprised when this was brought to him by Chief Hurley and myself, that inequity between the police department and the fire department, and this position and what the duties were being asked.
If I could just give an example, we've been asked to consider what fire impact fees would look like for the city. It's something we've done in the past, but we currently do not collect. So in order to implement that type of program, obviously we have to do a study and look at what growth is in the city, the requirements for impact fees that have to be met. So, the department's been asked to do this type of review, and currently we don't really have the administrative staff who's responsibilities are to do and support that type of work. So, as these things come up, really it was outside of what an executive assistant's role would typically be. It's managing these studies, these programs, our grants that we have a number of grants that we have to manage. We have an emergency management program that needs support, and these are all things really that are just beyond an executive assistant's scope of work.
And when you say a budget amendment, how much are we talking about?
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I believe I'm just throwing out a ballpark figure. I think it's in the neighborhood of $20,000 a year that we would be looking at.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So would you then be reallocating from another department,
Well,
or
you know,
where would that $20,000?
sure. The first step would be obviously if we could absorb that in our current fire department. But we have a $13 million annual budget. The vast majority is salary and benefits. So each year, as the year goes on, depending on if we have all our positions filled, depending on how much overtime we expend throughout the year, we'll just monitor, and there's a chance we could absorb that in our current budget. But if not, we have a commitment from the city administrator, to look at that. And the reality is, police, fire, we're both general fund departments, really, and that's what the city has to balance is the general fund.
Okay.
So it would be possibly a reallocation, but it's all within the general fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yes, our ask this evening is, to be able to accurately reflect the scope of responsibility currently assigned to the position, which is including the budget oversight, policy development, and all of the departmental coordination, grants, everything of that sort.
Okay.
Equitable between the police department and the fire department.
Okay. If it's possible, I'd like to see those job descriptions.
Okay, the one was in your packet. I can send out the executive assistant job
Okay,
description.
great.
So I'm assuming the administrative assistant won't be backfilled, will it?
Currently, the executive assistant we would not fill that position right now. Again, that would have to be us, in the next biennium, we'd have to ask for an additional position if we wanted to fill that. So right now we would maintain our two positions and to be, clearly transparent. We're also looking at our department assistant position and that position's responsibilities, because we may need that position to take on some additional duties as well. So we may be coming back with an additional ask related to the department assistant position and their responsibilities. Yes.
So we would see that in the July, August timeframe?
Possibly at the next meeting. We could we may bring that. Yeah.
Okay.
So what would the overall budget impact be then? An additional 20,000 for this position and then an incremental headcount?
The head count, unless I misunderstood your question, there would be no change, and we would still have 62 FTEs in the department.
Okay.
So it's really just there is a budgetary impact that we've talked to the city administrator about how to count, and finance director about how to count for that.
So the overall budget impact is $20,000, is that correct?
For this position, again, I don't have the exact number, but it's in that range. Yeah.
Yes, and for the administrative department assistant to administrative assistant, it would be in the range of 4,000 to 5,000.
So there'd be the 45,000 plus the 20,000, so that's 65,000. But that
No, 4 to 5,000.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
24 to 25,000 for both
But that
positions.
would,
But also the concern right now, as well as the police administrative manager position is currently open. We don't want to lose, I'm sorry, Chief Keelis. We don't want to lose a fire department employee to move over to the police department and lose all of that historical knowledge because her position is incorrectly classified. So I wanted to bring that forward as well.
Okay.
I just want to clarify, you wouldn't be looking to backfill the administrative assistant this budget year. You'd wait till the next budget year. Is that
If that,
correct?
yes, that would have to be
Yeah.
part of a request in the next biennium. Again, we'll still be working with two administrative staff. We're just looking to realign their duties to reflect not only what they're doing, but redistributing some of the workload better between those two positions, since that's what we have to work with right now.
Mhm.
Okay. Any further discussion, questions? Not seeing any, so I will move that we approve the request on the new classification of
It would be fire administrative manager.
okay, police and fire administrative manager position for the fire department.
I will second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am going to go ahead and share our deputy chief exam plan. Okay. So we are seeking approval for the deputy chief exam plan coming up here. This is a position that we believe will need to be filled very shortly here, given the movement in the department. We've got the requirements here. High school graduate or GED certificate, 5 years of experience with a law enforcement agency, 3 of which must have been as a police lieutenant or equivalent rank. Graduation from a law enforcement academy in Washington State, and all of the other various requirements that we have. Now we've got preferred requirements. Prefers candidates with related college education and a background in successful implementation of community policing policies. So the exam plan, of course, consists of, recruitment and screening. We would like to do this as an internal posting. First, opening it to qualified internal candidates. And the candidates will then be reviewed by HR and the police chief to verify qualifications are met. If they meet the qualifications with the internal candidates, they will be invited to participate in an oral board interview. So the oral board will be made up of Tumwater Police Department staff, a first line supervisor, and an admin staff. Candidates passing with a 70% minimum score would be ranked then on an eligibility list. And consideration for list approval would be at the next Civil Service Commission meeting. Here we have top 7 candidates would be eligible for a chief's interview, and any may be selected. So I'm seeking approval to go ahead and begin a recruitment for the deputy chief.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Well, I just had one question. You're looking for individuals with a college education, but then also a background in successful implementation of community policing principles. If they have the college education, but without the a successful implementation of the community policing principles, is that necessarily a negative for them?
Chief?
Can you ask the question one more time, please?
Sure. You're looking for the college education, but also the background in the policing principles, implementation of community policing principles. If they just have the college education, but without the community implementation, is that necessarily a negative? Is that, does it have to be plus, or could it be, just the college education?
I would say that a background in successful implementation of community policing principles is more important than the college
Okay.
education. Because you learn that by being in the job and being at the, higher levels in organizations and looking at, how do you implement that out in a community. That's why that's in there, because it's really it's really both. And that's who we're looking for. And that's the type of candidate that we want in this position.
Okay. And have you been pretty successful in finding a lot of candidates with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Once you get to these levels in organizations, you've been in policing so long that naturally along the way, you become uh, very skilled in understanding what community policing principles are, how
Okay.
you implement them, why they're important, and you kind of learn that along the way. So that's why having that level of experience is so important. Because if you don't have that, trying to learn that as a deputy chief would be extremely problematic. And I wouldn't say problematic, it would be difficult.
Okay. All right. I just had a question on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. No further questions or comments?
No?
Entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the deputy chief exam plan.
Okay, I'll second that motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next we will move on to the request to extend the acting deputy chief, deputy police chief appointment. Currently in civil service regulation, they are allowed to act for a period of 4 months. Our current incumbent has been in that position since January 2nd as acting deputy police chief. What we're requesting this evening is to extend that through September 2nd, 2026 to allow for the recruitment process to occur. And, with operational demands and all of the needs, the police department does request approval to extend that appointment to allow continuity in operations.
Okay. I have no questions.
The only question I had is it says acting deputy chief driver. What does that mean, driver?
His name is Kenneth Driver.
The what?
His name is Kenneth, last name Driver.
Oh, okay. I
Mhm.
didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No further discussion. I'll move that we approve the extension on the acting deputy police chief appointment to September 2nd to 2026. Have a second.
I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Let me go back to the agenda.
Okay. Updates. Who's anxious to go first?
Well, I'll jump right in there.
Okay.
Pretty brief. We have one candidate at the fire academy right now, one of our paramedic candidates. Hopefully will be completed by June. Very excited to have him back and on duty. We've got a handful of folks out now on various injuries, which has created some staffing challenges, but we're getting through it. Some of them will be coming back online here soon. And most exciting for us is City Council approved our agreement with the architect to move ahead with the work, at least the architectural and engineering work for the remodel of Station T2. So we're excited to have that progress moving forward. So we're very excited about that.
Okay, thank you.
For the police department, we have one person in the academy doing well, getting close to graduating and coming out and start field training. We have 2 brand new hires that are here waiting for academy dates, and we have one more that is very close, hopefully within the next week of passing all their final requirements and being hired on full time. So we have about 3 getting ready to go to the academy. We did have to discontinue one background, unfortunately. So we're now back to 5 vacancies. But the good news is the entry level list was approved tonight, so I have a whole list of candidates to start setting interviews up with. Our recruiting video is complete and is going to be unveiled tomorrow on the Tumwater Police Department website, which is going to look a little different. So come and check it out, or check it out on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not Facebook and Instagram savvy, so I would have to go to the website, but I think everyone will really like it and really hope that that increases and gets people to check out Tumwater PD and turn in an application so we can talk to them.
Great, I'll check it out.
Yeah. I'll wait for it on Facebook. That's where I usually see them.
I'm not a Facebooker.
We tried to give people a lot of different ways to get exposed to it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Okay, the next meeting date is May 14th. I will not be able to attend. I'll be out of town, where with limited internet access or expensive access. So
Okay,
I hope you have another commissioner able to attend, or
I
you
can do
may
it.
have to put it off. Yeah.
I should be able to do it.
Okay.
yeah. I will verify that we will have quorum for that meeting if you
Mhm.
won't be there.
Okay.
Commissioner Chard.
Alrighty. Seeing no additional business, so call the meeting adjourned.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.